tell you a little bit about BIMBING. BIMBING is made up of a young group of professionals with a passion for education and career development. We are always looking to add more value to our team. So if you're interested to join the BIMBING team, do reach out on our social media pages. Our session for today is with regards to the finance industry. Without further ado, let me introduce the moderator for this session. Our moderator for today is Ms. Harinder Kaur, who is an actuarial science graduate from UTAR. She is now pursuing her career in reinsurance underwriting. Harinder is also the co-founder and chartered treasurer of GBSM and has also actively participated in organizing BIMBING Virtual Career Day. Harin, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Pratiksha. So welcome everyone to the finance session. Let's just wait while they spotlight all our speakers are in. So welcome everybody to our finance session where we have 3 speakers, and I'm just going to start with introducing our speakers. So the first we have here is Dr. Jasbir. Dr. Jasbir is a manager of a statutory body, and he has financial services experience for 37 years and with various different roles throughout his career. He's a certified training professional, holds a bachelor's of social science from University of Science Malaysia, a master's of economics from University Putra Malaysia, and he's also a doctor of philosophy, has a PhD from University of Melbourne, Australia. And Dr. Jasbir is also a prominent figure in the Sikh community. For today, I will be referring to him as Dr. J, as is known, I guess, around his colleagues. And our next speaker is Sabrina, Ahmad Sabri. Sabrina is a Pennsylvania State University graduate with a degree in industrial engineering and a minor in entrepreneurship. Just missed that session. And so Sabrina is working with the Malaysia's financial regulator and has 9 years experience in banking, credit, and operational audit. And our third speaker is Manjeev Singh, who has a degree from Multimedia University in Bachelor's in Accountancy, as well as an MBA in Leadership from Asia E University. Manjeev has a history, a whole list of previous companies he has worked with, and I will leave that for him to explain. But for now, he's attached to Money Match, which is a leading Malaysian fintech company. So our session today is going to mainly be 45 minutes of this forum style, and after that we'll dive into the question and answer based on questions in the chat box from the audience. So to start off, I think I'm just going to start with a very general question about your journey from university to today, how you ended up with. So for that, I think I invite Dr. J to start. It's going to be a long one, I'm sure. So Dr. J, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Harinder. I'm trying my level best to be serious today. This is a serious topic. Okay, my life has been different from the time I left school until today. What I did was, which I will always tell people not to follow what I've done. I started studying when I started work. I started off as a clerical officer in the organization I'm working in today, and it's a regulator. And clerical officer is a very nice name, but in actual fact, I was a cashier. There, and I asked myself, how long am I going to remain as a cashier? So that kickstart my whole journey in the form of educating myself. I pursued a social science degree in University of Science Malaysia, and I majored in economics and minor in political science. I did it for 5 years part-time and 1 year final, and I was fortunate to be sponsored by my organization, And I quickly then pursued a Masters of Economics program in University Putra. And there I pursued a program in development economics. And then I thought of myself that it's about time that I achieved the highest in education. That's where I went off to University of Melbourne in Australia to pursue a PhD. And my PhD was in knowledge management. And what I'm trying to say here is that if I can achieve whatever I've shared with you, anyone out there will be able to achieve it. But don't try to achieve it while you are working, and achieve it when you're given the opportunity to study. This is when you are in your secondary school or in a tertiary education, and grab all the opportunities that comes in front of you. And I was fortunate where all my whole education journey was sponsored by my organization. So I have to thank my organization for giving me this opportunity. Over to you, Harinder.
Yeah, okay. So maybe does your organization still sponsor people actually? Do they?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So
We believe in lifelong education.
yeah,
Lifelong education, and what they provide opportunities to the staff to continue to pursue a master's or a PhD.
okay. So maybe we'll just jump to Sabrina first on your journey, and also maybe you can describe a bit of your university life.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm Sabrina Sabri. I did my degree in Pennsylvania State University in the USA. It was a 4-year course. I was sponsored also by my current employee. So I was there. If you ask about experience, of course, it's different experience, like night and day, literally 12 hours difference. So I would say, since my university experience, the two things I hold dear to my heart is be flexible and be open-minded. So those two helped me going through my career. So as I told you, I'm a engineering graduate and I work in a financial statutory body, regulatory body. So it's a mismatch there. So everyone was like afraid what I'm learning right now and who I'm going to become and who am I going to be in my career. So I am a living proof that you can switch out your direction as long as you are flexible and open-minded. I'm grateful for my journey. I learned a lot. I think I have to put a lot of hard work in where I stand right now, because coming from no financial background into financial employment, it's quite a challenge. But I think here, this is where your turning point in your life right now, where you can make good choices and also can nurture your interpersonal skill. Harinder?
Yeah, thank you. So actually, industrial engineering and then finance, and any similarities at all actually?
There are some, we say numbers, because engineering also have those math, but this different kind of math. But however, what I'm saying is the way you think is interchangeable. It's the same. If you have a structured thinking, any field of studies, it's applicable to any career. I will tell you that's a true story. You can ask anyone. If you have a good understanding, good attitude, and you can just switch and you will be successful in your career later.
But do you ever think of actually going and pursuing?
Yeah, okay. Actually, after my second year working in with my employer, I cannot actually pursue my IR in engineering, because if you, after graduation, if you don't practice engineering, you won't be able to get that. So I think that is the biggest turning point of my life, whether I want to quit whatever I'm doing now, or to pursue my IR, or I'm just gonna let go and be where I am right now. I choose to be where I am right now because I believe that all things comes together to where I am, and I should just follow that path and see where it can land me. So far, I'm happy. I'm satisfied, and I'm here with this organization for 9 years.
So this is a bit of an overlap with the engineering session, but can I just ask, you mean to say that if you do not pursue a career in engineering, you definitely can't get your IR, is it?
Correct. There
so
is
you
a
mean,
requirement.
But how about if you start working in engineering now and then you should be able.
Yes, exactly. Because there is a certain requirement for you to take an IR. You have a prerequisite lah. You have to have like a 2 years minimum of working as an engineer, working hands-on engineer. Yep.
So you can always jump back to an engineering job and then.
But it's too far actually. 9 years gap is
yeah. 9 years. I mean, yeah, subjective, but yes. Okay, never mind. Thank you, Sabrina.
No problem.
So maybe now, Manjeev, you can share your journey.
All right. A very good evening to everybody. I see a couple of familiar faces. Waheguru Jiwa Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Fateh. Good evening. Okay, a bit about me. Yes, I have been moving. Harinder rightly pointed out. If you do my LinkedIn check, you can do my my resume. If you see, yes, I started off with I started off with the Big Four with PwC. I studied. Okay, so maybe I start with studies. I studied MMU Malacca. For 4 years, I did my accountancy. I went to do my master's very recently, 2 years ago. And I started off with PwC. So yeah, PwC was very interesting because you work in the Big Four. For those of you who have been there before or who are currently there, you know the timing effect. You work like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Next day, you're expected to come back. But it builds a sense of resistance for you, right? And then I went on to join a regulator. I joined Bank Negara. Then I went to Labuan FSA. But one thing very interesting, I just like to share to everybody. So everybody thinks that whenever I move, right, they put a quotation that, oh, every time you move, every 20%. So your salary started at 3,000. Today you are at whatever, right?
That's what I'm thinking actually.
So yeah, it's a norm. I just give a perspective. When I moved from PwC to Bank Negara, I was at 3+, 3, 4, 3, 5, I remember. And I took a salary to 2,100. Okay, Bank Negara starting salary when I joined maybe like 18, 20 years ago. Was it 18 years ago? Yeah, it's 2000. I joined in 2006, so maybe 15 years ago. It's to be too long, right? 18 years. Okay, so I took a pay cut actually, almost 50%, mind you, right? But why? So then the question is, right? The one you can come and have a chat with me. I'll charge you separately for that. But it's something that you do, right?
Give us a sneak peek lah. Why? Give us a sneak peek.
So basically, it's about you going into regulator, right? That's number one. And number two is the learnings. Because in PwC, I'm really very focused on tax. So I realized that, hey, I wanted to do something more larger, right? And then the opportunity came, Bank Negara. Then I said, okay, now mind, let's give it a shot, right? And today, because of that, the very fact that I was basically a regulator before, and I'm also in the industry, that is giving me the growth. So I had to take a dive first, then I can go up higher. Just to give everybody in this call a perspective, right? Because sometimes you think, just keep going up. But in life, sometimes you just have to take a dive 1 time, 2 times, then you go. So I went to Negara. I was fortunate to be sent to Labuan, but then family also comes into the equation. So I came back, I joined PIDM. Then it was very, very nice, right? So very stable. I got my own daily routine. But then I thought, oh, let's challenge myself again, right? So go out into the uncharted waters. It all depends on you, especially because all of us are talking about career, right? So what do you actually want? Do you want something that's stable, 8 to 5, you're done, 5 o'clock, you got something else to do, you're a photographer by the night, you're hustling something else, you love it, your passion, go and do that, right? But the other part is for me is like, hey, I still can charge it, right? So I go to Hong Leong. Oh, yes, definitely. That was my first week I was hospitalized, right? So it was so stressful that in my first week I was hospitalized for 2 days, right? So it was definitely a game changer. Definitely after that, then in HSBC, I worked in HSBC for a while. That one you work 9 to 9 at night, and then the next 10 o'clock PM you still have a calls with US because it's different hours, right? So you cannot tell your US counterparts to come to your time. You go to their time, right? Then I went to UOB for a while. We worked on automation and everything. And Harinder, you rightly pointed out, I'm currently today with the Money Match, a fintech company. So this is worse. This is the darker side. So why? But this is something that I say, like sometimes you preempt your move in earlier also. Sometimes I just think that for those of us in the call, we want to be somewhere like what Jack Ma thought 20 years ago. If you ask Jack Ma 20 years ago, what was he, how is he going to become? He won't be able to tell you, right? But sometimes you plan accordingly. So digital bank is coming up. RegTech, they call it, those in the financial regulator, they will know RegTech is coming up. So this all technology coming in play. If I don't go and dive, again, this is another dive. I will tell you seriously. So to come in here is another salary cut, right? But why? Oh, is it because of a title? Is it a position? Not really, right? So it's about the learning. So you come here 1.5 years and now, Yeah, I am part-time. I do training as well. I train the industry players. I just believe, I think both Dr. J and Sabrina shared the perspective, right? You got good attitude, you got a good philosophy, you want to get the highest of education. I believe in wherever you are, you be good at what you're doing. So if people say you become a lawyer, people say become an entrepreneur, people say become an accountant, just be the best. When somebody thinks about insurance, he thinks about you. When somebody thinks about compliance, they think about me, kind of thing, right? So that's a bit of a history about me. Yes, Harinder, back to you.
Yep. Thank you, Manjeev. We go more about that a bit later. We'll dive more. So we go with the basics first. So when we speak of finance generally, there's so many things. There's banking, there's economics, accounting, there's insurance. But then again, a lot of people don't know insurance. You know, when somebody says insurance, they want to stay away because they always think it's agents. But actually, insurance itself is such a big industry here. I mean, big financial industry, a lot of opportunities, a lot of people with actuarial background end up there. So my next question is about what are the kind of courses that we do to end up in this industry? So Sabrina, I think I already came to you, and your answer is industrial engineering. So maybe I'll start with Manjeev. Before you give your answer, maybe you can also talk about you did accountancy in MMU, right? And that was a bachelor's. And so there's also the options to do things like ACCA, I believe. So what are the courses that you think somebody should do to end up in the financial industry, and as well as specifically to accounting? Would you rather just do a degree, or would you go for ACCA, or how would it be like? Yeah, Manjeev.
Okay, so yes, I started off with PwC. My ambition was actually to be a CFO. Okay, to be very frank, right? So that was where I was heading to, and very uniquely for my particular batch, that was the last batch that were not given exemption to have the chartered accountant without doing ACC or MICPA, right? You're not getting MIA automatic membership when you do 3 years kind of thing. Because the very fact that the following year MMU changed the syllabus, so it became like, how would I say, automatic, you can become member after you come 3 years, you do your 3 years. So I did my ACCA while studying, like Dr. J said, we study and we also work. So yes, I was doing my ACCA, and I'll share something very personal. I have not failed any exam in my life before ACCA. And when I failed my ACCA, I actually failed, or I didn't make it at 49. 50 was the passing mark. Okay, I repeated it, I got 48. So, 49, 48, I saw that was a hint ready for me to move something else. So then that's when I realized, being a career with the regulator, there's a lot of emphasis being placed on compliance. So I built myself up to that level, right? So go and take some courses, go and learn from the seniors, the directors. But I think for those of you in this call who want to learn about accountancy, there are a couple of our people, there are a couple of very, how would I say, very prominent people in the market who has already learned the finance side, right? So if you want to do accountancy, yes. Why the question by Harinder is whether you should be doing ACCA or not, or just rely on a degree. I would really say that go and do the professional papers. It builds a different perspective about you, right? And it gives you a perspective about what other people are looking at, right? Because at the end of the day, the world is such already. The world is your playground. I use the word, right? The world is your playground. You cannot be saying that, oh, only in Malaysia is like that, only in Singapore is like that, only in Hong Kong like that. No, it's everywhere. So you need to learn what kind of case studies, what kind of issues that is being placed. You got the MIA as the body, statutory body. So all of this makes you a better person. So I would say the word is keep going. Do not lose your own interest. If you think that you want to be good at something, you need to pursue the level of professionalism, the level of certification. Please go ahead and do it. That would be my take on it.
Thank you, Manjeev. So maybe now I jump to Dr. J, who has so much experience in the industry, and I think dealing with training professionals, and also to join the industry itself. What are the kind of courses that we should take up? Dr. J.
Okay, basic human capital theory will say that if you perform while you are pursuing a degree, that will determine what kind of career you can progress for. And in the banking sector, with a lot, as you mentioned just now too, you can either pursue a course in economics, finance, accounting, or risk. actuarial as what you did, business management, business studies, or data science analytics, law or psychology. Okay, these are some of the courses that you can pursue to join the finance industry. And very important is the kind of degree that you have achieved. What I mean here is that how well have you done in your degree. All organizations will look at whether you have got first class honors or second class upper. Okay, and they look at this. And next, they will also see from which university did you come from. If you have come from the Ivy League or the Oxbridge, Ivy League are the top universities in the America, like Sabrina. She comes from one of the top universities in the US. And if it's in UK, they have depending on what kind of degree you want to pursue. The Oxbridge is Oxford and Cambridge, and the rest are like Warwick, LSC, City, many other universities. And if you look at University of Melbourne, I'm not boasting, okay. So when you come to Australia, University of Melbourne is one of the top. Then University of Australian National University, University of Sydney. There are some of the universities, the good universities, where all those who are going to employ you will look at. And a basic degree is very, very important. And subsequently, what is important is what do you do after that? And I did a degree in economics, and economics got a lot of different fields. And once you have completed your basic degree, most important thing for me is to join the job market and join an establishment. And from there on, you look at what is in it for you. If you want to pursue a career in teaching in a university and to become a lecturer, then to do economics, they got different kinds of economics. They have financial economics, they have Islamic economics, they have industrial economics, they have health economics, they have environmental economics. A lot. It's up to you what you want to pick and choose, and it all depends on what kind of career you want to pursue. And some will ask me, should I do a master's before I join the job market? From my experience and my opinion is that once you have completed your degree, join an organization, and from there, when you get the experience, then only then you will understand better when you are going to pursue a master's. And this is something that I would like to share. And while you are pursuing a career, as what Manjeev has mentioned just now, okay, you should continue what they call that is continuous professional development, and some will tell lifelong learning. Continuous professional development is you have got a basic accounting degree, and you can pursue a professional degree like ACCA, or you can go for a CPA. Okay, and then a lot of opportunities available for you, but only you can decide which is the appropriate one, and also based on the time that you have. Okay, you are young, you're going to start a family, and if you want to go for any other activities other than your work, you have to sacrifice a lot of time. And for me, if you get a chance, you can always have a chat with me. This is not here because the time will not permit. Okay, you have to understand when you are working, you have got a lot of responsibilities. Sometimes time at work will not permit you to do part-time courses, and if you do part-time courses, then you have to sacrifice your weekends. And there are a lot of challenges that you will go through, but it is achievable with lots of sacrifices. Over to you, Harinder.
Yep. Agreed. And I think so both of you all spoke a bit about the professional certifications as well, and there are so many. And so one thing happens is when you do a master's, I believe a lot of times you do it later, but there are things like for ACCA also, this example that you can do it as a degree. You don't do a degree, you straight away do ACCA. So the same when I was doing an actuarial science degree, there's a thing that So they said you take your professional papers, right? So my university was affiliated. Oh wait, on that note, I wanted to ask first, Dr. J, you listed only overseas universities. How about local universities? I'm from Utah.
Okay.
And
I was coming to that as well. Okay.
Yes, I forgot. That was the first thing.
My apologies. My apologies. Okay, we have good universities here in Malaysia. Okay, as I mentioned just now, whichever university you go to, and whichever field of study you pursue, make sure you aim for second class upper and above. That means you only got two choices: first class or second class upper. Okay, so if you look at our top 5 government-owned universities, okay, they have got a variety of opportunities for you if you want to do economics. Okay, and the rest of the other universities that offer the economics program can be in the likes of Help. Help has got they offer economics too, and a lot of other degrees. For example, accounting. The best is Sunway, and I think it's Star College, if I'm not mistaken. They are the top 2 universities here, top 2 universities and colleges here in Malaysia who offer accounting programs. The rest of the universities, they have all the basic degrees such as business studies, business management, and you can pursue in any of the universities if you don't get an opportunity to go abroad. I studied in the local universities. My first degree was from USM, and USM for me was a place where I gained lots of opportunities because we had good professors there. Okay, they opened up my mind, and then I went on to University Putra. University Putra has got the best lecturers who teach you econometrics. Econometrics is something economists will want to pursue. It's basically analytics. Okay, like actuary will do modeling in the sense of coming up with models to see whether investment is viable or not. So these guys who do modeling, the guy who studies econometrics, they do the same. They see whether the model that they have created is normal and whether the variables that they have keyed into the model they have come up is robust enough. Okay, I may be speaking German, but don't worry. You can always ask me what did I mention just now. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay,
Anywhere is the best as long as you want to study.
Okay. You have to say that now.
I pity my children now.
Back.
Nothing less than second class upper.
Okay.
So their date.
So anyway, so like I was saying about the professional certification. So for actuarial science, there's a lot of papers that you can do. So what we were told in uni when we were in uni, a lot of people told us, especially seniors, that don't do now. You do later when you're working, because they'll pay for it. The companies pay for it. They sponsor you to do it. Then when you go to working, right, and then you go apply job actuarial science, you cannot get it. Minimum entry requirement, have like a good progress on papers, 2-3 papers at least. You don't get in without that. So I think that's also quite a thing. Anyway, on that note, Sabrina, what are after join? So since I think they spoke a bit about what are the courses you take to get into the industry. How about what can help you while you're in the industry already?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is interesting point that Manjeev and Dr. J has mentioned. So when you can learn it during your university days, is awesome. That one, your clear career path already. But when you're put in a situation like me, I also get jealous. You guys can get ACCA, you guys can get all the additional papers to add on. Well, I usually get jealous. My friend go study leave, and then see they're doing something in your life. And what about me? So I do actually compete with them. I took Islamic finance certificate from INSEF. Actually, when you are working, there are a lot of other additional courses that you can take. It's not a full-blown degree program. It's a certification. You can take it for like 6 months or 8 months, and they will give you a certificate that say, I also take anti-money laundering courses that give me some edge at my workplace where I have a cert on it. So there you can be a not like subject matter expert, but you have more knowledge as compared to your colleague. And you can add more to the conversation, add more to your, that's how you build value when you are not in the industry. So yeah, you're right. Learning in career also is a lifelong journey. So you don't stop after you get your degree. I think I saw a question, sorry if I jumped in the chat room saying,
maybe we'll take the questions a bit later.
Okay, sure. No, but it's a bit connected because it says that the one saying that why is it important to get a second upper and higher? Because it's important. It shows you your resilience to study. If you're getting a consistently good grades during your study, it means that you're going to bring your A game in your career. So that is how employers are looking in the employee. So we say, outdated lah nanti. Maybe I screw up during my study. Of course, I make up for it. So there's two things. You show that you are successful after your graduation and you enter in the right note, or you can enter at a not so high level, then you build yourself up in your career. Right?
Thank you, Sabrina. And also,
Sorry, Harinder, can I add into what Sabrina has mentioned, or you want me to wait?
No, let's do the question now then. Let's do it.
Okay, and I did mention that what you go to the best university and achieve the highest in education. Okay, this why I mentioned this is what Sabrina has clearly mentioned. It's general human capital theory. If you perform in your education, you are likely to perform in your career. So this is generally noted, and it's true. Some of them they have not done well in education, but getting a third class, but performing very well. For example, our lawyer Karpal Singh, he got a third class, and he was one of the best lawyers. Okay, I don't deny that, but not everyone is along that lines. But if you have applied for a job, the first thing they look at, I've conducted a lot of interviews. I look at which university you come from and what kind of degree you have achieved. Okay, very important. And this is generally, right, yes. That means you are hardworking. You'll be able to take any challenges. When you have achieved so high, first class is not easy, but it's achievable. And you have done it, the amount of time you put in, the effort you put in, okay, the hard work. So I know you're a hard worker. Over to you, Harinder.
Thank you.
I think let me add my perspective for this,
sure,
right? So, okay. So again, I also have kids who are like 11, 10 years old, and I also expect them every time they do for exam, they get the best. But I guess today's maybe it's me right? So I guess today's generation, some of them believe that you can excel. So I think the answer by or the message by the just now is that there are enough people, right? So always you hear about people like Bill Gates, you hear people like Jack Ma, all never graduate university, blah blah blah, including the richest man and everything. I guess the question is not about whether you graduate university or whether you come up with a good degree and you get number one and then you can be excelling in the work. So what Dr. J and Sabrina actually said, very very true. You can be first class student, but when you come out to job, you can't work it out. You just drop off the cliff, right? Second part is also when you're not so good. So what I normally do in my interview sessions when I meet my new hires, I will actually look at the certificates, or your third grade or your second lower. What I will also do is to understand why caused that. Because sometimes you realize that foundation, they are very good, but then they go to degree or affected, blah, blah, blah. But because maybe it's family issue, sometimes they got family issues, sometimes they got friends issues. So these are the things, how do you overcome it, right? Then it creates a resilience. I like the word Sabrina mentioned just now. It creates the kind of resilience that I know if I throw you to a corner when you do your work, you are able to come out of it. It's not about being an A all the way students, right? So Sabrina mentioned just now about attitude. I tell my kids 4 things you do today. We always tell in work, please do be teamwork. But I tell start with your attitude, your behavior, then your competence, then your teamwork. Then it builds out the best out of you. So I think both are not wrong in terms of a parent, maybe Gurmeet as was, yes, you must have at least second lower second upper. But Uptesh being I don't want a scenario. I have a very good friend of mine who's today not in Malaysia anymore, but he graduated with a degree in accounting. He carried it, he gave to the parents. Thank you very much, first class, I'm going with my own money. So it has happened. I've seen it with my own life. I mean, with my own experience, right? So you don't want to do that, but it's also interesting because your parents will force you. And today, I'll tell you the real story, right? He went off, he went to Malta, he went everywhere. Today he's in finance line. So after 5 years of yakking and saying that, oh yeah, I don't like what you told me to do. After 5 years, that because of that particular degree and that particular force, today he's somebody in the market. He's in overseas, but he's because of finance. So sometimes parents also you have to listen. So my parents will push me to the corner, tell me go and study, blah, blah, blah. You do it, it becomes better for you. That's what I would say. And Dr. J has really mentioned, right, we've got so many universities available. If you don't like the course you're doing, you can change, you can go and do something else. It's going to be lifelong. You study for 20 years, you're going to work for 20, 25 years, or you're going to have your own business. It's going to be continuous. You can study something else, you work something else. But your finance is a very unique industry. So, okay, right.
Yep.
That's my perspective. Thank you.
Yeah. So maybe now I think we go to something a bit attractive. Finance is like a very, very corporate, right? And typical jobs. But I know a lot of the bigger firms and all this, they come with a lot of perks. So maybe each one of you can go through the benefits that come with a job in the financial industry in Malaysia at least, or I don't know, in general. Yeah. Maybe I can start with Sabrina.
Right, sure. So I'm just gonna scope out at where I'm working right now and why I'm staying for so long. I'm actually one of those young, cannot duduk diam. I saw my friends 3 years after graduation jumping already. So I said, oh, it's my turn to jump. But I think there are values that I keep to myself and which I will share later, which give and I match with all the benefit that my current employment is getting me. So I stayed. So first of all, I think it's medical. Medical, I think all companies has it. Yours also, right, Harinder? So,
yes,
but
yes.
the amount of coverage is different. So that one is for sure. Second is all the facilities that they have, like gym, cafes, spas, if they have like massage place, they do have it and we can have it also. And also opportunity to grow, where they give you scholarship, where they give you unpaid leave, or they sponsor you to go further study, to give you opportunity to climb up your career ladder by having more information. So those are the benefit that we're having also. But all of this, I'm saying that they are mix and match. They are one benefit maybe outweighs the other, but three things I would like to share that makes me become my compass basically. First is, what is your value right now? So I asked myself when the third year I was working, what is my value? Was it time? Was it money? Was it networking? Do I want more time, or I want to meet new people, or I want to meet someone outside of my industry, or I want more money? If those things, if you get the answer, if I want more money at my third year, I would jump. But no, I value time. I value like I can work maybe after 7, I can leave my office already. I know Manjeev said that he worked until 11. I cannot do that. So that's why I'm saying put where I am. Second is, what is worth sacrificing at that moment? At that time, I cannot sacrifice time. I cannot sacrifice because my parents live outside KL. I need my weekends to myself to go drive back to meet them. So I cannot work on the weekend too much. So that is one thing. And then third is, what is your limit? Number 1 and number 2, tadi you have already your value and what is your things to sacrifice, and what is the limit? How long you can hold it on? For me, it becomes now in my 9th year, I'm a bit comfortable, but I'm asking whether I want to push my limit. I want to jump now and see where I can land myself, or I'm going to continue to serve what my employer has given me, and we'll see. Actually, I'm bonded with my my employee. I get 1 more year left, and I'm on secondment program in another institution. So it opens up my eyes that, oh, okay, there is another work feel, but I am satisfied. I have job satisfaction with where I'm working right now.
So you bonded for 10 years.
Yes, bonded for 10 years. And actually I can break anytime, Dr. J. I can break anytime, and I can just pay like your monthly payment. Yep.
But nobody wants to pay. And so can I say that invalidates your whole topic earlier?
No, actually there's a lot of people after 5 years or 6 years, they can just leave because with the pay, with the how do I say this? With the more pay that you will receive in another company.
Sometimes the companies buy you out as well,
yes,
right?
it's paid off already. But
so
the value that I have, still hold me here.
So you think that these 3 points that you have, these benefits and all, they are a strong reason for why you are still here?
Yeah. Okay. And then now that I recently got married, so I think my employer gonna give me more in terms of the family area.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna stay.
Medical coverage for the family.
Yeah, betul. So some people say that I settle. Yes, I settle for the benefit that I think worth doing, and it's not like my job is not set. I'm telling you, it gives me job satisfaction as well. Those are important things also. If you do your job and it's meaningless, it's just like paper 9 to 5, I think I would quit a long time ago. But it gives me sense of pride. That's most important.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Maybe Dr. J, you can share what are the benefits that kept you in the same company for 37 years or 37 years.
Okay. Actually, I just want to share the secret with everyone. Manjeev is my former colleague, and Sabrina is my current colleague. And why I've remained in this organization for 37 years is mainly, firstly, is what Sabrina has shared, that what do you want in life? What do you want to achieve? And this organization that I work for has given me everything in the form of scholarships, as what Sabrina also added just now. Opportunities are given for you to pursue your career and to upskill you, and also to in the sense of continuous professional development. If you are a member of a professional organization, they pay your membership fees. This is one good thing that we have. And the other thing is the medical benefits. Manjeev and Sabrina wouldn't have what they call this
privilege
benefited from it, because this was special for me. I've joined the bank for so long, and I'm actually, my medical benefit is for life. I mean, my wife and myself, it's for life, and any amount, no cap. I can go to any private hospital to be operated on, or to if I fall sick or what, any amount of money they will. But now none of the new hires enjoy that, so that's special. And the other benefits is although we have got a work-life balance, we have got a choice to continue working up to 7-8 o'clock, and I've experienced working up to 4 o'clock in the morning and come back at 8 o'clock to work again. And I've also experienced during the financial crisis, I come in very early in the morning and I leave very late at night. I did not see whether there was a sun out there, and this was during the Commonwealth Games, and I was given a free ticket to watch the semi-finals of the 100 meters. And I just forgot that I had an opportunity to go there, and you will go through life in that manner. But all boils down to yourself, what you want to do at the end of the day, and how you want to manage your work-life balance. If you finish your work fast enough, you don't have to wait up to 10, 11 o'clock. Okay, I for one will leave office at 7 because of the jam. Okay, and I have to come to office early because I drop off my children to school, and it's a good thing that I'm the first one in the office and the last one to leave office. I'm able to finish most of my stuff.
Yeah, Okay, thank you. Maybe now to Manjeev. So what are the what are benefits that made you leave? What are the dislikes that made benefits that made you stay, and things that made you leave? And how, I mean, through your so many companies, how can you compare? I think generally the financial field, it's about the same, like the benefits here and there. Maybe the cover is a bit different, and so maybe how can you compare?
Okay, I think okay, right. So Dr. J has already spilled out the bean. So yes, I left the particular organization that we were in together with Sabrina, and so I have to be very mindful. I'm a financial institution regulated, right? So I got my regulators here. But anyway, I think very important is I also like to share, right? So yes, definitely I also was a family man when I was living by Negara. I have 2 kids. I was told to go to Labuan FSA. Saya pergi mau to Negara. I went there. Then I had to make a call, right? So whether I come back, I get the same kind of benefits. Yes, I still get the same benefits previously. I come to PID, blah, blah, blah. But then when you go to the banking industry, there are some kind of caps really, right? So, but they do remunerate you a bit better as compared to that. So you come, so like I said, you come with the stress, you come with the remuneration, but also the family thingy, right? So whether you are already, like in my case, my thought process was, I need to have insurance for them. So when I have the extra salary that can buy the insurance and give them a coverage of like what very decent coverage, I think that would be fine. But that's as a responsible as a dad, right? And you're big later, you go and buy your own insurance cover, right? So that's how I see it. For me, medical benefits and study benefit, you even get vaccination leave in my current company as well. So these are the things that you do get here and there. But if you're just putting the benefit as your own this one, it depends on individual again. So maybe like what Sabrina said, why she actually stayed put is because of all the very reasons. She can go and study, she's married. So even you ask me, does necessarily a husband and wife say both of you are very ambitious? Is that something that you can do together? But there's also a challenge because then your family will be affected, right? So one person takes a back seat. So in my case, my wife's a teacher. So she took a back seat. She said, okay, I will just do my work and you go and test the water, right? So we are in this together, as well as Dr. J has said, he's been there for 30 over years, 37 years to be exact, right? Today, for you ask somebody to stay more than 3 years, that's a bonus. I got in my organization people who come and go, and my organization actually we have between 20 to 25 years old. That's like 70% of the. I'm the oldest there. Okay, so in all the banks, I'm the youngest at the senior management level, but in here I'm the oldest, right? But in all essence, when you look at them, they tend to be people who are from different background, who are people who are just wanting to come do the work. They're not happy, they go somewhere else. So today having somebody back for 1 year, 2 years. So 1 year is norm, 2 years is okay, standard, and 3 years is bonus already. So that's how I would say it. I might just be moving to something else right very soon. But yeah, benefits wise, it's about the pay, number one. It's also about the job satisfaction. So if you are satisfied, sometimes even the pay is lower, but you know there's a future to be built. Today I have contacts in different states. Regulators are calling, people like from the SC are calling me to do presentation wise RegTech for them kind of thing. So it builds me a bit of a different ball game, I would say, right? So this is why I'm keep moving. But it's not easy, keep moving, because actually I can share with everybody just a very quick one. Every organization has a different culture, and it's not easy to fit in, right? But there's also a saying, why try to fit in when you're born to stand out? But hey, you are in certain this one, you need to be a bit more this one collaborative, right? You need to assimilate yourself, you need to understand. So sometimes you are the one gung-ho, everybody else, hey, taking a slow seat, and that's it. You are the one being pushed in the corner. So yeah, benefits is one of the consideration, the number of leaves, what kind of like career path of growth, and what kind of future I have in this particular industry, the line. So I think even for those of you who are thinking of accountancy in the virtual career fair, I mean, all of you who are thinking that to do accountancy, what kind of things? Because accounting today is very vague, right? Very, very general. So you got payables, you got receivables, you got the CFO roles and everything. But if you talk about digitalization, it's all bringing in the speed, efficiency, right? How can you mirror this? How can you say, okay, common things? How can you put all these contexts? How can you make it more intelligent to remove the mundane work? Because if not, you go in your kid, pay voucher comes in, this comes in, oh, no. Now it's all going to be straight away OCR, optical character recognition, straight away tells you, okay, fine, this moves straight away into which bin or which box. Those kind of things you need to consider. Okay, over to you back, Harinder, sorry.
Harinder, you're muted.
Sorry. Okay. So I think generally the benefits are kind of always a thing to look forward to when you go to this kind of, I think, big firms. I mean, believe it or not, that's what it is, lah. Other than that, like in very like simple answer, I think Sabrina has covered a bit of this. Like, how do you find passion in what you do? Like finance is so technical. You sit there and you just like a lot of times it's that, and you have your meetings and it's so technical, or it's just so like work. Like how do you find a passion in what you do, and what keeps you going in this industry, Sabrina?
Hello. Okay.
Yeah.
What I do specifically in my organization is I do audit work. So the audit work I'm doing is on credit, which are your loans and all, and the operation part. So I think some people call it mundane because you look at the same operation every single time you do. Manjeev is smiling because he's doing exactly that and he left the organization. So, but for me, what I look for is I get to learn something new every time. Every time, you know, it's the same methodology, but you look at it at a different, like doctors, you examine people in the same procedure, but you meet different people every day. It's a different symptom, different things to look for. And I get the opportunity to talk to the top management in the bank, like the CFO, the CEO, and, you know, as a 24 years old girl who audited someone who worked in the bank for 20 years, it was so scary. But that's how you build your confidence. That's how it gives you satisfaction when whatever a suggestion that you give to the bank and they listen and they take note. That means that you are contributing things. So those are the things that I find little passion. Some might say that I created things, you know, like it's not happy, but then you're like, you tell it to yourself. That's exactly it. You tell yourself what to do. Don't listen to other people. If I have listened and, you know, follow my friends, I would jump companies long time ago. And jumping companies, I think Manjeev is very fortunate. Maybe he has good superpower, very good communication and all. Every time he jumped, he succeeded. Good for you. I'm so proud of you. But I'm telling you, there are friends who jump ship and they sink because over there is a different pond. They already got big fish over there. The ketua fish, they're already there. Sometimes you get eaten. So make the smart decision for yourself. You know yourself better lah.
You place different problems lah.
Yeah, betul.
Yeah. How about Dr. J? What keeps you going?
Okay, as what Sabrina and Manjeev have rightfully said, for me, it's the kind of culture that the organization has. The kind of the work that I do, it's the current work, and I also can share what I used to do previously, but now it's current. What I do is I design programs. I facilitate programs. Okay, so the fun is coming up with a program so that this program can help upskill someone or understand the organization better or understand their work better. So you have to be on your toes to see what is happening out there, what is the latest, what are the current trends, so that you can incorporate into your design and you roll out the program for them. And you will only know, and you are very satisfied when you see the ratings that you receive for your program. We have ratings from 1 to 5. 5 is the best, and anything above 4 is a good rating. And even for facilitation, if you get a rating of above 4, then you are satisfied that you have done your job well. So these are the motivating factors that keep me going, and I love what I'm doing, and that's the reason why I pursued the professional paper in what you call this training and performance. I'm a CTP, a certified training professional. So a certified training professional is something that I added on to what I've done. Okay, and this is part of lifelong learning. And as what I think in the opening session, the president of MBM mentioned that you only stop learning when you die. Okay, so this is what I believe, that even in whatever field you are and whatever you are doing, make sure you continuously progress in understanding what is the latest in the market. Okay, we as regulators, We have to make sure that we are in the forefront, we are up ahead, and we have people like Harinder, we have people like Manjeev, and look at us, they bow down their head and they walk past us or buy us a cup of coffee.
Nobody likes a regulator.
And also our partners, like Sarabjit.
SC, yes. Securities Commission. Oh, nobody likes. I mean, even you don't like internal auditors as well once you're working, but you can't run away from those, right? Oh.
Why you don't like them? You have to ask. You call them. They're trying to come to help you to make sure you do your job efficiently.
It's so good
They are
because
not.
I'm not the speaker here, so I don't have to answer that. Okay, so maybe we're almost our before we conclude our topic and move to question and answers. I have one big part to touch, which is Manjeev. So I'm not going to ask you the passion question because I think I'm going to say that your current passion is probably what you've really taken up recently. And so can you tell us more about? Does that say what does that say? Coins. You're muted. Sorry, Manjeev.
It says keep going.
Keep going. You see, I read coins. You see, because in my mind it's already blockchain and all this.
Don't look at coins. Okay. So, yes.
Yeah. So maybe can you tell us more about fintech and what made you start up? Is this a good decision for somebody just out of degree straight away going into this, or like just tell us basically about it. What is it about and all?
Okay. So basically, what does fintech be all about? I think this is the buzzword now. A lot of people are trying. And to be very honest, fintech companies are not profit-making companies. So if you ask them to give you medical benefit, if you ask them to give bonuses, forget about it. You're definitely not going to get it, right? So we don't carry any bonus. I think the only unique part about fintechs, or even whether you can sustain or not. So in my current role, I play the compliance officer, right? So I need to make sure that for regulation purposes, wherever we are, whichever country we are. So even it's a public holiday in Malaysia, I'm still working because Brunei is working, right? So I am the compliance officer for Brunei and Australia as well. So I am on the goal, I would say, right? But the other part of it, the fintech works is very much on the blockchain technology. It gives you a perspective that how do you actually move funds across different jurisdictions using other payment partners rather than the bank, right? So we use our payment partners across different countries, but they are also very well regulated by their own regulators. And we make sure that, when we do all this, because when Bank Negara, for example, our primary regulator comes and audits us, they will ask all these kind of questions. How do you comply with these requirements? What do you do? Especially like Sabrina mentioned just now, AML, CFT, money laundering is a big thing today. A lot of fines are being imposed, even fintech companies, digital bank, N26, we're in German. It's all being affected because when you get a fine from the regulator, it's a one big fine. When my time in Bank Negara, when I was working, when I go and audit, I audit with my thick report, so thick reports. Well, the CEO comes in and says, okay, now one pager, we're working on it. But today, Negara is no longer the other way around. They give you one pager letter, you give the thick reports what you're doing. The one pager letter tells you to pay. So if those people who are, like I say, it's all about going into the tech side, right? So if you are somebody who is willing to challenge yourself, you are somebody who is willing to, rub the hard jobs. Okay, what is the interesting part? Eventually, if you are able to go into IPO, for example, or you become a unicorn, right? Some of us are working in Axiata Digital, we will know, Aspirasi. So those are the things that we are actually trying to build up. The future is not about the profit and loss in terms of finance, it's about the growth potential. So if you see Grab today is still losing money, but what is the growth potential, right? That's why they can go to the SPSC, they can do a reverse listing, they have all the opportunities. So the same thing today, if the excitement to stay in fintech is because of the regulatory part and the technology part. So you bring both together, it becomes a different, because you are going to be a champion in the future. Bank Negara is going to issue 5 licenses, mind you. So they are going to employ new people. Are they going to employ somebody who's in the current banking? Maybe yes, some of them. Are they going to employ somebody who is going to be somebody who has that background? So taking this into the context, then you plan ahead. But if you are asking the question just now, Harinder, whether it's a good thing to enter a company to go and learn, I think wherever you go, whatever company you go and join, take the best out of it. So Sabrina did share. Yes, I wouldn't say it's a honky dog. It's a very cruising journey for me. No, I'm not born with the crystal. What do you call this? the crystal to say, okay, you can go ahead and do everything. No, I'm not that lucky also. I do have my moments of challenges, but how do you maneuver yourself, right? And what do you foresee? So whether I will stay in the current organization, whether I go somewhere else, whether I go and open my own outfit to do compliance advisory, these are the considerations today. But this is where you actually, as a new joiner, as you go anywhere, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, go and learn that. Go and take the extra. You want to dive in. Somebody say, I cannot do this. Never mind, I can do this for you, right? But not everybody want to do it because there's no any addition, there's no any salary extra. So sometimes it's like playing chess. Where do you actually move your bishop? When do you actually move your pawn? You have to be very careful with your own moves. For those of us who have been working, I think, Harinder, you have been in the industry for some time, you know the challenges when your top bosses are not aligned with you, when your top bosses are not aligned with the management. But I give you another perspective, right? That's one more thing that those of you who are very high ambition, you want to become like, okay, the largest listed Malaysian company in the Bursa today is Maybank. Do you know how much Maybank's CEO, Dato' Farid, Dafa, salary is for 2020? 2020 was a bad year, right? We say. His salary for 2020 was 9 million ringgit. So it takes into equation of, this is public information, so you can Google it, you can find it, right? 750,000. How can you achieve that? But that's awesome, right? You can actually achieve it because somebody can do it. You also can do it. Maybe you cannot get the 9 million, but you may get maybe half. But still a millionaire in 1 year, man. Okay. So that's about it. The buzzword is very buzzword, but it's also a lot of manual at the back. There's all of codings need to be done. I also need to go and learn coding. I also need to someone don't chong me. You know, I'm the compliance officer. Somebody say, oh, this can be done, everything is good. I need to know lah. You're telling me the truth or not. So I need to go and learn coding. I need to upskill myself. So that keeps me going as well. Oh, suddenly one young boy tells me, hey, this is how you do this. Okay, do your code. So I do my own code. Okay, simple one, not the so you can come out. You can do your own website. Very good. So these are the things that keeps me also going. And these are the things that I think the fintech is industry people will talk about. But out of 10, 7 fails. So hopefully you're not in the 7, right? Every time 7 will fail, 3 will survive. Whether 1 goes for listing, that's the statistics I've proven in the last 5-7 years.
So basically, fintech is actually like a finance plus IT plus entrepreneurship a bit. It's a mix of a number of things, I believe, right?
It's a full name is called financial technology. The short form into fintech.
Thank you, Manjeev. So I think we've hit 4 o'clock, and maybe I'll dive into question and answers. And I will start with the last question that we have, which is kind of a common question. So they are asking here, Najib is asking, what are the starting salary in finance and what would be the average salary? And I think I'll start with Dr. J on this.
You're asking the wrong person the question on salaries. I believe
aren't you in charge of human capital and all this?
It all depends on whether you're fresh out of university or you have got some what do you call this, experience. So your salary can vary from 3,000 to around 5,000.
For starters.
Yes.
Fresh grad, 5,000 ringgit. Possible in the finance industry.
That 5,000 straight away is not for
so that's the thing, right? Starting salary, yes.
Yes, around you will get around 3,500 to 4,000.
Starting salary, okay. So how much can you head into that?
Let me add this. I think maybe yes, the what doctor say it can happen in certain organization. The starting salary for fresh grad is 3,500 to 4,000. Yes, it's possible in certain department. Okay, but I think the general fresh graduate salary has not changed over the years, right? I would be very frank with you. I started off at 1,900, my first salary, and then I moved to Bank Negara. Bank Negara brought the same salary to 2,100. This was 15 years ago. Today is 2,500. My organization is paying 2,500 as starting salary, and upon confirmation, we give you another 500. So 3,000 ringgit is possible. But I guess that's the point where you want to go to the next level, right? What is your jump going to be? 20%, 20%, and you take that kind of stress, But averagely, 2,500 to 3,000 is possible. Some accounting firms are giving 2,800. So that's the industry average of 2,500 to 2,000.
Sabrina, anything to add?
I think of all 3 of us, I'm the most recent new hire, I would say. So my colleague and I in the same legislation, yes, as what Dr. J said, it's like 3.5 to 4, depending on which department you're in. But I think my friends who are same graduate as me and working in banking like UOB, Maybank and all, they can start at 3, and after confirmation, they will give like some incentive like 5 to 700. And I think after 2 years, they climb up the ladder, it will be like more like 1,000 more. So it could be like 4 after 2-3 years. Yep.
Yep. And I think this is where I break my moderator rule. And since I'm really even younger and I am
you are
5 years plus. And so I would like to say that actually, even when I started, the starting basic is for Malaysian companies based, it's always about 2.5. It's still about 2.5, as what Manjeev said, between 2.5 to 3,000. And when you have overseas banks, HSBC and all, I think
a little bit higher.
Yeah, a little bit higher. And then insurance industry starting pay, again, based on the company. The Malaysian based will pay you a bit less. Others will pay you a bit more.
Oh, I think, okay, one more thing to tell, the starting salary also differ where is your finance. Okay, let me tell you. If I think for insurance it's different, but if you go into investment house or investment companies, investment bank, it will pay higher a bit. So yeah, it's different. Yeah.
I think to conclude, I can say it's between 2.5 to 3.5.
Yep, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. And I think an advantage is you have some papers. I know for actuarial field, if you have done your papers, you might get a few hundred ringgit extra based on the papers that you have done. So I think that wraps up that question.
Right.
Let me look at the other question. So what would be your advice to accountancy undergrads in the digital world? I'm not sure who would like Manjeev or who would like to take up this question.
I think I shared a bit just now, but
yeah,
then, like I feel like that the digital world is coming is to move all the mundane jobs away, right? So it's going to still be people coming in, putting the codes, putting the scripts inside, but they're going to try to bring this kind. So accounting, you got a lot of, like I said, a lot of pockets of it, right? From auditor to tax consultant to finance, really finance receivable, payables kind of thing. So all these technologies are going to come. So I would say for the person who wants to actually be a game changer in the world of accountancy, not only stop yourself from learning accounting, you learn the technology part also, right? So go and put your certificates, go and learn some kind of like how can these codings or whatever help you in your work. Then you will be a different person as compared to somebody who just come out as a accounting graduates. And I think some universities has also embedded this. Like I know my alma mater has also did something like that. I was invited for their session, and it's real. You cannot just be doing the same studies and expecting different results, right? So yes, go and do extra studies. Go and learn from people who have been there. There are a lot of makeshift accounting courses today, and also people who are willing to share. Do a webinar, go on the LinkedIn, follow them. You can see they are sharing. They will be able to tell you also what is the new world coming in accountancy, if you are very focused on that. So you don't stop short of yourself and saying that, okay, this is what, because when you see all these kind of prominent players, the CEO of Citibank, the CEO of Google, right? So, or even the CFO of Google, what kind of things they are doing. So then keeps you going and make yourself better. That I would take it that way.
Yeah, actually there's like, the question is together with how would the accountancy profession evolve and change? What sort of opportunities should they seize as accountancy undergrads? What are the various career paths for them to take? I think you've covered a bit of this. Anything to add, anyone? This
okay, I would like to add
accountancy, yes.
Okay, not only accountancy itself, it's across the board. Current trends, adoption of technology is a must. That whatever field you are looking at, you must have this what they call technology savviness. If not, it will be a challenge for you.
Okay. Thank you. We have another question. Oh, we have a question for Dr. J. How do you bring your bachelor's and master's degree along with your field of study in PhD in your current role in the bank?
Okay, the current role that I'm playing, there is no in terms of if you are expecting an increase in your salary, it doesn't work in that way. So it's a lifelong journey for you to educate yourself, to upskill yourself, to enhance the knowledge that you have, and that's why this once you have what you call advance yourself in education, you become some sort of a specialist in the field of your study that you have completed. Okay, I did a paper in knowledge management, and management looks at how do you ensure the knowledge in an organization is utilized for the improvement and advancement of the organization. So you see, because knowledge resides in an organization in the form of what knowledge we have in the minds of the people, and also documented knowledge. So this knowledge must be properly preserved to ensure that you are able to retrieve all the necessary information for you to do your job. So when in the organization I work for, when you gradually progress in terms of education by pursuing once you have completed your first degree, then your master's, then the PhD, it's to specialize in a certain kind of field of study.
Thank you. I hope that answers the question.
Has the person who asked the question, I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, I'm not sure who asked the question, so I can't double check that. But thank you. Maybe we can come back to that in a while if there's any follow-ups.
Sure,
Next question we have for Sabrina. Having busy schedules sometimes does not permit us to pursue a full-blown degree or master's. Where can we get access of those short-term courses or certs like the ones you mentioned earlier to keep up skilling ourselves?
Okay. Hello. Okay. Right. The one that I've taken with a certificate is under my companies that they paid. So that one is paid one. But if you have extra money, no problem. Go ahead. In Malaysia, we have for Islamic banking, we have INSAF. And also right now we have Asian Business School that you guys can enroll to. However, I'm a fan of anything free. So I would stick to this website called coursera.org. It's a free courses over this pandemic. I've been taking classes since last year. So right now I'm taking game theory classes and remove barrier to change for management. So these courses is like 7 weeks, 8 weeks courses that you can take. You can get certificate by paying like maybe $200. It's a bit a lot, but if you want to put that in your CV, you can do it. But you can learn for free, and it can gives you an edge. How it gives you an edge, even though you don't have a certificate? By conversing with your bosses. By during presentation, you can say, I read this journal. It says this, and this. So that is a lifelong journey that I would say. It's not a proper, how to say this, certificate punya education, but you can learn that new information there. A lot of online courses, videos on YouTube also is great. If you want more, you can just, I think we have our contact, right? I can
maybe you can just type that out in the chat as well. Yeah.
There's two actually. One is Harvard online, wait. I couldn't find the chat. Maybe I can write later.
Okay.
Sabrina, Dr. J has put it. Yeah.
Dr. J has helped you.
Yeah.
But I think there's also locally, there is this HRD Corp, right? So they are also doing something called e-latte. So you can go into that. That's totally free. So go and get yourself learning. I mean, learning is again, I can tell you how I also learn, not necessarily. If you want certificates, yes, go and do that. But you want to learn from people's experience, follow them on LinkedIn, get into this one, they are good, follow, you can be friends with them, perfect. Right? You can know how their lifestyle, how they work. So that's also another part. But yeah, HRD Corp or HRDF previously, they have a lot of courses on e-latte. They have something called E-L-A-T-I-H latte, and that's perfect for a lot of future employees.
I'm also going to check that out. Thank you. So other than that, we have a next question. I would like to know if the person is an engineer and after many years of working in the engineering field chooses to study Masters in Business Administration or Masters in Finance, will the person be able to join the finance industry? A person who is an engineer after many years of working in engineering. Okay. Sabrina, you want that, right?
I would say for you to enter financial world, there's nothing stopping you. That's not a degree that can validate, oh, you can enter financial career. No, you cannot. Everyone you can. So if you are an engineer right now, you're taking MBA for business courses, it's fine. Then definitely you have an edge lah, you dah belajar. But if you're an engineer, fresh engineer, masuk dekat financial world, also you can. You have to, maybe you have to put a lot of hard work at first to understand all the you know, the tricks and you know, all the, how to say this, the liku-liku kehidupan dalam finance world. But definitely anyone can join in.
Okay. I hope that answers. I think it was by Harman the question.
Yeah, I think for Harman, maybe I can just add in that part also, where going into the industry is different, because you see, you come from an engineering background, you have done maybe 7 years, 10 years, and then now you go into MBA in finance, then you say, okay, I want to join the financial industry, right? Then the question is, I'm sitting on the shoe of hiring the person. I got 2 person here, right? So one person is coming engineering background, one person is coming in finance background, both with 10 years. Who do I choose? And are you willing to take a pay cut kind of thing? Like I said, like sometimes it's just that kind of sacrifice for you to move a bit more higher. Second is when your MBA needs to go back, linking back to your previous, because now banks are hiring financial engineers, right? Banks are hiring even teachers. In my previous organization, HSBC, we hired teachers to train the kind of policy implementation. So it is different world altogether. It's not necessarily your finance, like what Sabrina rightly said, not necessarily your finance background, you get a finance job, vice versa, not necessarily your engineer, you get an engineer job. But go and give it a shot, because you never try, you won't know per se.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to add a bit as well. So as an engineer, especially not just engineering, even doctors, like there's a lot of opportunity in the insurance industry as well. You can be underwriters, because engineering is a whole class. So for underwriters, they would definitely prefer people from the job. Like being from my background, I'm not preferred as a life underwriter. They would prefer doctors, people from the health sciences, just the same for engineering. So in the insurance industry, I can say that as an engineer, you might have an opportunity for underwriting in engineering classes, as well as being risk engineers, where you go and survey places, risk survey engineers. So that's, I think that wraps that question. The next question here we have is, what is the starting salary we've done? Will there be chances to set up your own business in the finance field? Kind of went through that, but anything to add on that?
I'll add. Okay, if you want to set up your business in the finance field, it's either you want to set up an insurance company or you want to set up a bank. That you will require approval before you can start this business. If you want to do money lending business, then you go to the local government to apply for the license. So, and applying for licenses, it's not straightforward. You have to make sure that you have all the necessary capital, the experience, the whys and whats, and all that needs to be answered. And when you put in the application, they will go through a very what they call a rigid process, and they make sure that we have got the right players in the market. And Malaysia is going through consolidation. That means the bankers are all merging, and the first round they have gone through, and now you see the bankers are very much stronger, and there's more room for many things to happen in the future. So if that kind of business you're looking for, maybe you can join another bank and see what kind of chances, what is available for you there in terms of coming up with a business. Many years ago, they started off with the remittances business, where initially we had a lot of foreign workers here, so a lot of opportunities to set up this kind of business. And we had money changers, and now you see, because the business has become so huge, so we don't. If we want to give our license, we will look at what is so special about the kind of business in the setup. How different is it compared to what we already have? If you have got innovation or something different, then you can submit your application for approval.
Yeah, okay. I think very interestingly, Bank Negara has the sandbox, right? So fintech technology sandbox. So people like us, my current company, We threw our application in the sandbox, we are remittance, provide for SME. So we can do that. Very interestingly, if those of you are very keen to even start your own business, so people like Bija, if you know about Bija, BJAK, they are like an insurance aggregator. So what they go and do is they go and say, okay, you renew, because vehicles are a lot in Malaysia, right? So you go and renew your vehicle, oh, we give you a comparison. So they get a small percentage from it. So all of these are innovation that's coming along in the financial industry. We have also called something called Senang PKS now, where they actually come and tell you, okay, yes, you want to take a loan. We'll do a comparison for you. So today, if I want to take a loan, I have to go to Maybank website, CIMB website, Alliance website, I want to take a housing loan, for example. But now there's these people who create this API, right? So they will the one who will actually say, okay, you want to do it? We will tell you what are the rates the bank giving. Ringgit plus, for example. So these are all the innovations that are coming. You want to go ahead, if the thing is regulated, like what Dr. J said very clearly, you have to go and get licensed. You go for all the respective SC, or you go to the Bank Negara, or you go even to Labuan. But if you are something that is very easy, that you want to say, okay, I want to do my own accounting firm, yet you still need to go to MIA, right, for approval. You want to do your own tax consulting, you need to go for, you know, the interview. So yes, there's the barrier to entry. But if you provide a normal consulting, blah, 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 it's not easy. Why would I choose you when you're charging me a big sum? I would rather pay a small accounting firm that is regulated. So you have to really ponder about what the business you want to go. And then if necessary to get license, go and get your license and comply continuously, right? So that is the perspective. Yes, you can make a lot of income. There's no limit to the income actually from a financial perspective, the finance industry.
Yep. Thank you. There's another question here. What do we have to learn for financial, and does mathematics subtopics such as algebra or functions help? So I don't know if this question is for what do we study in university, or if this applies in your work, but what's your take on this? Who would like to go first? Maybe Sabrina?
Actually, I'm a living testimony that what you study in your uni is not necessarily you will do it in your real life. So all the algebra thingy, it's not going to be as hard as that, but there are some algebras you're going to use to when you use Excel to you know, filter out some information, or those will still become handy. But it's not a direct application, I would say. So if you want to come and study in, if you want to put all what you study in what you learn, one-to-one, it's not going to happen. That's what I'm saying. But the application of it, like how the solving the problem, that will become handy when you come in career. Maybe Dr. J want to add more?
Okay, if you're looking at joining the statistics department, then yes, there's opportunities for you. And we have got people with mathematics degrees coming and joining the organization. And also, if with whatever field of study which is inclined to mathematics, for example, econometrics, there are a lot of them. If you are going to do research work, and if you want to further your career in economics, then econometrics is one field where a lot of mathematics is being used, statistics to be clear. Okay, so if you love mathematics and you want to continue your journey, your career in mathematics, yes, there are opportunities, but limited.
Yeah. Manjeev?
I think this question is about which one was it again? Sorry, I missed the.
This is about algebra and functions and.
I think today is, yeah, you go and learn whatever that is needed. People are talking about IoT today, Internet of Things. What are you having as compared to the others? Right? You go and learn algebra. You go and learn what are you going to bring. So I got a very good data science professor, Punjabi boy. He's very interesting. He's very like introvert type. Some people say, oh, you must be extrovert, then you can succeed in life. Some people say introvert. No, it's necessary that what you're studying. So if you're talking about data science, you're talking about analytics today. It's all about putting all this kind of what you learn in the university into equation. So I think Harinder, you can correlate this to me, right? So when you don't have all this kind of actuarial understanding, you won't be able to, to put all these context. So algebra, all your mathematics will work, provided that you are actually targeting what is your game plan going to be. Are you going to be a management person, or are you going to be a single contributor? Single contributor, you stay as it is, you're happy where you are, like what Sabrina said, I will just excel and become expert in that. Another one is you start managing teams. So are you going to be the person 5 years down the road, look at you and say, oh yes, I'm going to be a CEO material. What I need to build that. So you don't necessarily need to have that kind of details, because I'm going to hire them. If I go into the position, I will hire this type of expertise and say, okay, come, you do all the algebra, the data science work. I leave it to you. You are expert. But I'm going to manage the outlook, the strategic direction of the firm.
Yeah.
Those kind of things.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, no, to just enter the finance industry, a prerequisite, definitely no. But most of the time, what your studies are already including some level of that. But if you're going to go to like data science, or if you're going to do modeling, which is a lot in the actuarial field as well, then definitely algebra, functions, and a lot more, you're going to need a lot more of that, and that's going to help you, yes. And you will be like what Manjeev said, you're going to be that unique person there who has all this knowledge. I think we are closing in, and I have one last question, which is the financial industry lucrative? I think Maybank answered that, but
and I think somebody mentioned about investment bank just now, right? I think Dr. J. The investment bankers, even though their salary is about 20, 30, 40K per month, right? When they get their bonuses, the others will be laughing, right? Because their bonuses like between 10 to 12 months. So you get like almost 2 times salary. So you're talking about Dato Farid getting 900,000. You could have somebody even better than getting because of the bonus. But it all depends on the performance. So yes, it is lucrative, but it also can be very stressful. It can be very, some of them, even the senior level. I was looking about this particular person. I keep telling her, I want to be like you, I want to be like you. Then she one day confided and she told me something very personal. Right? She said, you may not want to be like me because I take sleeping pills every night because I can't stop myself. Right? So today, when your generation talk about YOLO, today's generation is talking about FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. So you want to know everything. So I think some of you are smiling. Yes, it is fear of missing out, right? So you don't want to sleep, you want to continue. But then you need to shut down. You need to let certain things happen, right? Certain things will happen. Not everything is within your control. So I guess all of us here in this particular session, I thank BIMBING for this very wonderful session. We should do more of this. I think a lot of us are learning as well. I'm also learning from Dr. J and Sabrina's experience as well as anybody asking the question. But the angle is that, right? What do you actually want? If you want money, are you able to sacrifice other things? Sabrina couldn't sacrifice her parents on the weekend. I also have, I did a board meeting in the labor room. My wife was delivering a baby and I was in the labor room doing a board meeting. But can you sacrifice that kind of thing? So it's a real scenario. You cannot have the best of all the world, right? And then finally you leave it to God now. That's your final, this one I would say. Back to you, Harinder.
Yeah. FOMO is, crypto is all about FOMO now. So, Dr. J, is the financial industry lucrative?
To me, I've been working there for so long, I think yes. And it depends on what Manjeev has just mentioned just now. It's what you want. And if you have passion for it, you feel that you will be able to enjoy while working there, and with everything what is happening. And at times people are looking at job security. In the current environment, there's no job security anywhere, and you can be laid off anytime. And looking at even with adoption of technology, they will reduce the number of staff, they reduce the number of branches. So all this, they don't want excess staff, so the excess staff has to go somewhere. So, okay, nothing is secured these days. And at the end of the day is how you perform. If you are a good worker, you're a hard worker, you're a passionate worker, you'll go far in life. Don't sit down there and wait or become an apple polisher to expect something. Okay, I never believed in this theory of bodeking, and I always believe that hard work pays. And if there's an opportunity, grab the opportunity. And that's one of the reasons why I continue. As long as you have paper qualifications with you, no one can stop you. And the sky is not the limit.
Okay, thank you. Sabrina, is the financial industry lucrative?
For me, it is, and it's lucrative, and sometimes it tested your value, and it becomes unethical. Yeah, I must say, if you come into financial world, you are basically dealing with a lot of money. Even it's not yours, it's your company's, or it's someone else's. So sometimes it may test your integrity, but all in all, I think it boils down to you. What is your value? I think Dr. J and Manjeev has concluded all. I'm just going to put that in notion. Integrity must be there in financial world.
Okay, thank you. So basically, it's a yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
of course.
from all. Yeah. I mean, it's clear. It's finance, duh. But yeah, so definitely it is. And I think that was a very, very nice question to end our session and kind of conclude it with. Thank you for Dr. J, Manjeev, Sabrina for joining our session. It's been nice getting to know all of y'all. And I think this is us signing out from the finance session. Thank you, BIMBING, for giving us all this opportunity and this platform.
Yeah, thank you, BIMBING. Thank you, everybody. All the best. Good luck.